5 o'clock on a Wednesday, and it's time for
Craig and Ryland Magic Review Show.
I'm Craig.
I'm Manoj.
Welcome back to another review show right here on
Magic TV.
We've got 4 tricks this week. Not all of them are great, but we've got 4 tricks this week. We've got 4 tricks. Some of them are good. Some of them are really good. The first one is great. If you like rubber band magic, you're going to love this. Imagine acrobatic knot, but with rubber bands. That sounds interesting, right? Let's have a look at that one first. So the first trick we're going to be looking at is TRB by Menzi Magic. And this is basically a collection of gimmicked rubber bands that allows you to do a very similar sort of routine to acrobatic knot, but with rubber bands, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't know what acrobatic knot is, it's made famous by Daryl. And the whole idea is you have a white piece of rope, the knot comes off a white piece of rope and it goes onto the red piece of rope. Now this is kind of a similar sort of thing. There's lots of different ways of actually performing this. The tutorial is really good, very, very in-depth. But the kind of the basic handling is that you show 2 rubber bands, one spectator holds one, you take the other one, you pull a piece of it off, you throw it into their hand, and in their hand, it permanently links onto the other rubber band. Should we look at a performance of this?
Yeah.
You did a performance of this, didn't you?
Yeah.
So we'll have a look at a performance of this very, very quickly, and then we'll talk about what we think.
So I've got a couple of things here. I have a red rubber band and I've got a yellow rubber band. And I've got my sister. Say hi. Hi. Now, Thea, hold your hand out flat. Okay. Take this rubber band, hold it tightly in your hand, and turn your hand over. Perfect. Hold it there. Now I'm going to take this rubber band. I want everybody to see this rubber band. I'm going to take it like this, so everybody can see it. Watch this. You can see that I can actually take a little bit out the band.
What?
Just like that. I can take a little bit.
You just take a piece.
I've took a piece of the band, and that's pretty cool. What? That's really cool, but I'm going to take this rubber band, I'm going to throw it in your hand like this. Now, Thea, open your hand, see what's inside. You can see that the red band has now expanded and had a little bit of yellow from the little ring. What?
Now, there's a few things to point out with that performance. That's the kind of the basic handling, isn't it, Ryan? The first thing that you need to point out, that's actually really easy, isn't it? Like you do some rubber band magic. You've actually got quite a range of rubber band stuff that you do. You do Strange Exchange, you do Crazy Man's Handcuffs, and a whole bunch. You'd probably do like 6 or 7 rubber band routines. So you find rubber band stuff really easy. But I mean, this is exceptionally easy, isn't it? There's nothing difficult. The problem with a lot of rubber band material is how to hold the band and flip this around this and then flip that around that. There's none of that with this. It's very simply 2 rubber bands, 1 red, 1 yellow. You hold on to the red one, job done. They even give you in the package, it's very well thought out, they even give you a little holder that you put in your pocket that's designed to hold the small rubber bands and the red rubber bands. So you can literally go into your pocket and you can grab what you need immediately without trying to fish around looking for the pieces, which I thought was a really good idea.
Yeah.
The tutorial is about half an hour long, and it starts off going through the rubber bands. Now, obviously, you get the red rubber band with the piece of yellow on it.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is this is not just one rubber band. The yellow rubber band is made out of a different material to the red rubber band. And the red and yellow one is made up of 2 pieces of material. And the reason is, if you stretch the red rubber band, well, there's a whole bunch of reasons for it, but it was actually really interesting watching that sequence. On the tutorial, he explained exactly why the bands were made the way they were. But you get more than one. So I think you get 4 of the red and yellow rubber bands.
Yeah.
You get 4 of the rubber bands where it looks like a piece has come off it.
I think so, yeah.
And then you get a bunch of the little ones as well. You get loads of the little ones as well. Now, once you understand how this trick works, you can take it to the next level and you can get really creative with it. What I mean by that is you can have it visually go on the red band. So you can show the yellow band, pull the piece off the yellow band, and then you can show the red band very, very cleanly, and it visually appears on there. Now that's actually a little bit more difficult, but it's not something that nobody would be able to do. You'd be able to do it fairly easily, and the person doing the tutorial, he's very, very crystal clear and covers everything very, very clearly. I love this. What do you think of it? Like,
I really like this as well.
Why do you like it so much? Give me a reason.
Well, it's very... Well, I've always liked acrobatic knot. It's like,
No, you haven't.
It's great for a kid's show. They're like, it's on the bed, it's on the bed, right? Yeah. But like, having a version with rubber bands, with close up, like being able to do acrobatic knot close up with rubber bands is just great.
It's killer. And I love that moment where you pull the piece off the yellow band and you're left with that indentation there.
Because what I do, what I've probably explained on the tutorial, I don't know. I have the little one there and the normal one here.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's down. I just pull it, but the bottom of it's still left there, and then it just looks like a little.
It looks so good, doesn't it?
Band. It's like being pulled off, and then I take it, and then whoosh, it's gone.
It looks really good.
It's really good. Yeah.
It looks.
I really like it.
Yeah, it's great. You've got enough rubber bands there to last a very long time. The holder was a really good addition as well. It makes it very, very commercial. If you do any rubber band magic, and you're my pet hate, and you know this, one of my pet hates in magic is that people say they do rubber band magic, but they only ever do Crazy Man's handcuffs. It seems to me that Crazy Man's handcuffs is the one trick that everyone does, but there's so much more than you can do.
I need to relearn that one where it's like, I forgot how to do it now, but the one where it's like that.
Yeah, you'd be able to get that down straight away. That's all of the.
It's such a good you can do it over and over again because when after a show and the kid you've taught the kids a little routine and they come up to you and they're like what's this, and then it jumps from there to there. It's like that's pretty cool. What about this? And you have it and it's there. And
yeah, you were doing that on the tour with Killian all of the time, weren't you? You were like, yeah, really good.
Yeah, really good. Yeah.
I love this. I love it.
Bands are so amazing.
They really are. Really so much you can do with bands. So if you do Crazy Man's handcuffs and you want to add something different to your set that's actually really easy, this might be one that you want to go for. I'm giving it 100%. What about you?
I'm going to give it also 100%.
100% from Ryland.
Plus
Julian. 100% plus Julian from Ryland. 100% from me. It's really good. Let's move on with something that's not so good. Okay, so next up we have Demigod Prediction by Manoj. I think it's Kaushal. Demigod Prediction. And what this is basically is it's a way of predicting something like a number that somebody would think of. So here's actually, I'm not even going to tell you what the effect is. Let's just watch the performance first of all, because you do this quite well. So let's watch the performance first of all, and then we'll talk about what we think.
Okay, I've got a prediction here, as you can see. Now, underneath this slip of paper...
Is that what the question mark's there for?
Yeah. Underneath this slip of
question
paper...
mark for a prediction?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't know what it is yet. Well,
you wrote it?
Well, yeah, I wrote it because I do know what it is, but I'm not supposed to. Right. Question mark. This is my prediction.
It's a very nice question mark.
Underneath the question... Yeah, because you drew it. Underneath the question mark... Underneath the question mark is my prediction, okay?
Okay.
It's my prediction. Now, I want you to name any number between 1 and 100.
Any number?
Any number.
Okay, 26. Let's go 26.
26. Okay. Right. You selected in the middle 26.
Yeah?
That should be sorted. Okay. Right. You selected 26.
You smudged it a bit.
Did I? Oh. Well, I did smudge it. Alright, you selected 26. That's what I read.
Yeah.
And as you can see, my prediction is 26. What?
Okay, so that was a very clear performance of what was going on here. In essence, you've got a stack of business cards or a stack of blank cards, and the front one has it's meant to be a post-it note. We put a piece of paper with a question mark on it because we couldn't find any post-it notes. It's meant to be a post-it note, but you put something over the front and you say you've written something there. You then have somebody think of something. You tell them that they're going to think of something. You write it down, and then when you've written it down, you show them that that's the number that they've named, and then you show that the prediction matched exactly. I don't like this. Really at all. I really just don't like this. Yeah. I know you don't either. There's a few reasons why I don't like it. I don't want to just say, I don't like this, don't buy it. And it's only our opinion, but let me explain why. So first of all, I don't think that there's a big enough disconnect between the prediction and between the... I mean, in essence, I don't think I'm giving too much away here by explaining that this is a kind of an advanced version of double writing. I don't think I'm giving it away too much by saying that. But I think that when you're doing double writing, there needs to be a disconnect between what you're writing and what is being predicted. And I don't like the fact that the prediction is right there, just on the other side of a stack of blank cards. I think in a spectator's mind, I think that they'd think, well, it's a little bit too close, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And double writing works fine, but in this method, there's a lot. It's a lot going on to achieve basically what is in essence the prediction of a number. Without giving the method away too much, you wouldn't want to really try and predict anything else. It would have to really be a number or a very small word or a letter or something like that. Anything else would get a little bit too complicated. So in essence, you're left with predicting a number. And there's a million different ways of predicting a number that are far better than this. Like, just use a thumb writer, or use double writing, but use it in a completely different way. You know, there's a million different ways of actually doing this. I don't need to go through them now. But the problem is, it's kind of almost like, it's that old expression, you're trying to use a machine gun to kill an ant. You know, it's kind of like, there's a lot going on here to predict.
You're using some machine gun to kill a fly.
Yeah, because there's a lot going on here in terms of what's going on. And I'm trying to be very cagey. I don't want to give away exactly how it works. But there's a lot going on, I think is fair to say. Now, it's not just a case of writing a number down and that's it, you're done. There's a lot of jiggery pokery that you have to do. And you actually did that jiggery pokery very well. But it's still a lot to go through in order to predict a number, which has been, you know, on the other side of this stack of cards the whole time. The other thing is, there's no talk at all on the tutorial about how to actually perform this in a real world environment. What I mean by that is, if you just put this stack of business cards or this stack of cards in your pocket, there's a very good chance that the setup is going to break. Without giving too much away, there's a very good chance that the setup is something's going to happen to the setup, which means that when you take this stack of cards out, it's not going to do what you want it to do. And there's no talk about that. You know, the ideal situation here is to walk up to the table with this in your hand and to do this. But how many people get the luxury of doing that? Then the other problem is the reset for this is a nightmare. The reset is quite long. In order to do, I'm trying to go through my head what you need to do to reset this. It's got to be a good 2 or 3 minute reset, and it's something that you have to do away from everyone else. You wouldn't be able to do this reset in full view. You'd have to kind of do it away from somebody else. So if you were doing this trick in a close-up environment where you're going again and again and again, and let's be honest, this is a close-up trick. It's not a parlor trick. It's not a stage trick. It's a close-up trick. You'd have to kind of go away and then come back, and that's just not great, to be honest. Look, ultimately, it's just kind of a weak effect for what you have to go through. I think this is bottom drawer fodder. This is the sort of thing that people will buy, they'll look at it, and it'll just go straight in the bottom drawer. This is not something that people are going to do. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, you're the one that actually performed it. Have you got any other insights into that? Like, any other reasons?
You pretty much got it.
It's just not very good, is it? It's just, I don't know. I've seen so many different ways of doing this that are so much better.
Yeah.
I'm going to give this, I don't know, 10%, I think, 10%. And that's being generous. What about you?
Yeah, probably like 8%.
8% from mine and 10% from me. In our opinion, and it is only our opinion, but in our opinion, this is kind of trash. You wouldn't want to do this. Okay, so the next review. This trick's been out like 2 or 3 months, and we've had so many people request us to review it that we've actually kind of got around to reviewing it now. This is Prestige 2 by Sergey, Koller and Hyde. And this is a sequel to a trick that we reviewed a while ago called Prestige. Now, we did not give Prestige a great review. And the reason we didn't give Prestige a great review is because it involved a lot of invisible elastic thread, which broke very, very quickly. And we pointed out that you could do this sort of thing with Blake Voigt's system. And Blake Voigt has something that's very, very similar that would allow you to do the same thing. They've brought out Prestige 2.0. It's lots more, there's still a little bit of an invisible elastic thread, but it's not really the main part of the method anymore. The main part of the method, without giving too much away, is a flap system, which means that you aren't putting stress on an invisible elastic thread. There's more chance that this will just go again and again and again. It is actually more similar to what Blake was doing with his version. In essence, what it is a way of having 5 options that are presented to the audience. They can pick any one of those 5 options.
Yeah.
And whichever option they pick, you can show that you know, they've got the outcome you want them to have. And there's a lot of different ways you can go with this. They cover many, many different ways on the tutorial. One of your favourite magicians is Tom Stone. You've worked with Tom and Nicola many, many times. And one of your favourite tricks, and my favourite tricks, is of Dyson Men by Tom Stone, which is kind of his version of the hug kill plot, but for stage. And using Prestige 2.0 to do that hug kill style thing is an advancement over Tom's original method of using a die to have them pick a number and then, you know, show them the number that they've picked. This is actually, you know, a kind of an advancement. So if you know of Dice of Men, or you've got the book that it was originally published in, then you can do a Dice of Men with this prop. In fact, we're going to see a performance of that right now, aren't we?
Yeah.
We filmed this at Christmas, around the Christmas tree, and you fooled the pants off Thea.
Tree.
You fooled the pants off Thea, who got very, very mad at you. But let's have a look at this
Now,
performance.
for Christmas, I got an Udi, and I like to give my sister a Christmas gift. Now, Thea, I've got these 5 cards here. Now, all you're going to do is pick any one, 1 to 5. Pick one.
I'll go for number 1.
Number 1, up here, all the way up here.
Yeah.
Okay, number 1. So, are you sure you want number 1?
Yeah.
Number 1, okay. Well, you picked a hug. It's very nice, isn't it? Do you want a hug? You want a hug?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, okay.
There we go.
Now, it's a very good job you pick hug, isn't it? What?
Why are we on kill?
Well, I thought you picked one, so I put the others as kill. Because, well, if you picked another one, I would have killed you.
Seriously?
Well, she got a hug. It's a good Christmas gift.
So that's of Dice of Men. Well, it's not. That's Prestige 2.0, but that's your performance of Tom Stone's Dice of Men using the Prestige 2 plot. But this prop is limited only by your imagination. You can do bank night style routines where you know, you're giving people a choice of, you could have, for example, you know, like each one of these cards could have like £1 million, £1 million, £1 million, and they pick one, and the one they pick is only one with a penny on it, or so, a tic tac or something, which is what you use Blake for, actually, isn't it? You use that Blake's for that. You could have I'm just trying to think of other. You could do like a force style thing with it. If you wanted to force something, you could force something with this very, very easily. There's so many different ways you can do. You can take this, and the tutorial is very good and goes through a bunch of different stuff that you can actually do with this, and a bunch of different ideas and concepts. But honestly, you're limited only by your imagination, and you're limited only by you know, how you want to use it. Now, the one thing that I would say is this is really a stage piece. This is not something that you could... Yeah, well, actually, you could do it close up if you wanted to. It would just take up a lot of space, because you'd have the things when they're folded up are quite big. You probably wouldn't be able to fit it in a pocket, but you could go over to... But you could go over to a big table and hold this and do it if you want to, but really, this is kind of more of a parlour cabaret stage piece, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
But if you're looking for a way of forcing something on stage, the gimmick is very reliable. We've used it again and again and again, haven't we? The gimmick is very, very reliable. It uses dry wipe. You knew you wanted to do a Dice of Men with this, so you put it on with permanent marker pen because you're not planning on changing it. But, you know, it is what it is. It's very, very good. It's well made. It's a decent price for what it is. I think it's going to last a long time. All of my problems and complaints that I had with Prestige 1 have vanished. I'm going to give this 9.
Was lucky listen to you?
Yeah, I doubt they did, but maybe. 95%. What about you?
I'm going to give it...
You said this was going straight in your show, that hug kill thing.
Yeah, 100%. Well, no, 99%.
99%.
Yeah.
99% from Ryland. 95% from me. It's great. you want to pick it up. It's not the cheapest trick in the world, but if you've got a place for it in your show, and it's worth noting, you could do this in a kid's show really, really easily.
Yeah.
You could do this in your kid's show really
You don't
easily.
use kill.
No, but you could have, for example, 5 of the pups from Paw Patrol, and you could have Marshall set up, and then you could have a bag on stage, and they, you've got a prediction there, and they pick one, and they pick Marshall.
You could use the coin.
Yeah, and you can use the coin, and they pick Marshall, and you show that you've got Marshall. So there's ways of adapting it for a kid show audience. Absolutely, 100%. Right, let's move on with the final review. Okay, so the final review that we've got today is Time to Travel by Juan Pablo, which is something I spoke about a couple of weeks ago on Magic News that I said looked interesting. Basically, Time to Travel is a travel-themed confabulation routine where you have somebody apparently freely pick a country and you're able to predict exactly what it was that they were thinking of. Let's have a look at the performance that you did, and so people can see exactly what this is all about, and then we'll talk about what we think.
Okay, so I've got my dad behind the camera. I have a whiteboard. It's called a dry white marker. I'll call it a whiteboard pen. But in here, I have a big map, and I also have a prediction left in there. But I have a big map here, and I'm going to get my dad to draw an X anywhere on the map. Now, this could be over multiple countries. It could be over one country, but you're not going to know where you're going to draw, okay?
Okay.
It's going to be drawn completely randomly.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Take the whiteboard pen.
Okay.
Have it there. And just draw an X anywhere on there.
Got it?
Okay. You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we are not allowed to know where it is. So we're going to put it like that, okay?
Yeah, there's your
Now
pen
you
back.
know- Okay, I'll take my pen back. I'll put the lid on. Now, we're going to see where you drew. You drew right there.
Oh, I can't see. Can't see. Okay, yeah, I see.
Now, what I want you to do is I want you to take, if it's over multiple countries, I want you to think of any one of them.
Got one?
Show that.
Don't look. I'm going to tell everyone which one I'm looking at. Yep.
Okay. And then go in. You can open it up. So open it up, and whatever the number is, that's the airline you're going to be flying with.
Oh, hang on. I didn't look at the number. 1 minute. Hang on. Sorry. Got it. Yeah.
That's the
Don't know.
airline you'll be flying with.
Got it.
Yeah. And then that's also your seat number. The number on the country that you chose is the seat number. Okay.
Got it.
Got it. Now, like I said, I've had a prediction in there the whole time. The whole time there has been one prediction in there. This prediction. Emirates Airline. Was that the airline you picked?
It was the airline I picked. Yes.
Emirates Airline. You're flying to Argentina number. No, Argentina, and seat number 14.
That's right.
Okay, normally, right, before we do the review show, we've had a chat about tricks, and we've had a chat about whether we like them or not, and we've got a rough idea where we're going with this. We never even talked about this because we've had a busy morning.
Yeah.
We literally just filmed that performance, and we're like, right, let's go down to the studio to film. So I don't know your thoughts on this, and
I don't know my thoughts on this.
I don't know whether I like this or not. I think I do, but I don't know. I talked about how I was quite excited about it on Magic News, but having now watched the tutorial and learnt it, I have reservations. And let's talk it through on camera, and I want to know what your thoughts are. So my first reservation, right, is I don't like the fact, so it comes, the envelope that you take the prediction out of, and you take the square thing out of, it's designed specifically for this trick. Yeah. And it's a multi-out envelope without giving too much away. Now, I don't like the fact that he's whacked on the front cover the name of the trick it on the envelope, and it didn't look like you could pull it off, because then you've got to kind of justify why you've got the name. What's it called again? Time to travel. You've got to justify why you've got a time to travel thing on the front of the envelope, and then, you know, if people Google it, they're going to find, you know, this trick. Not that people will Google it, but I mean, there's that's kind of concerning me. The other thing is, it's not really a true confabulation, because a true confabulation should be 3 separate individual choices. As in, you think of this, you think of this, you think of this. And they've not done that. They've picked one thing, they've put the X somewhere, so they've had a free choice apparently of country, but then the country gives them the seat number and also gives them the airline. It's a little bit like what you did in AGT, but I think it worked better with AGT. Like, you got them to pick different drawings which predicted scam, and then scam was, first of all, you predicted the drawings that they would pick with the envelopes in the judge's desk, but then scam was predicted on the backs of the kids' t-shirts, and then you wrote scam all over the desk. It was basically the same thing 3 times. It was the same prediction 3 times, but I think it worked better on a big stage because of the UV on the desk and everything like that. I think here, if people backtracked it, they'd be like, well, hang on a minute. If I think of a different country, it's going to, or, you know what I mean? I think the method is slightly flawed there. The other thing is, and I've got no problem at all bringing out magic props as part of a magic show. You know, I mean, come on. We're looking around here. There's thousands of magic props in this room right now.
Yeah.
I've got no problem bringing magic props out. The issue that I have is when you're doing like a mentalism theme trick, this thing that they've got to put an X on just seems very magic-y. It's kind of like, well, why am I doing this? What's the purpose for this? It just seems very, very magic-y. Yeah. Maybe, you know, that's not a problem if you do mental magic like me, but for a hardcore mentalist, that might be a bit of an issue. I do like the fact that they can put the X anywhere on there and they can apparently think of any one of the countries. I think that that is very, very good. But ultimately, I don't know. I definitely wouldn't do it. It's not something that I would do in my show. I don't think it's big enough. I think that I would rather just have 3 Sven pads and just have 3 people pick something from 3 different Sven pads, and you predicted those 3 things in a really cool way over doing this.
Yeah.
It's all right. I just don't think it's great. It doesn't set the world on fire. What are your thoughts? That's my thoughts on it. What do you think?
It's okay, yeah. Like you said, I don't like the fact that it's like the name on the front of it. It's a good idea. It's a really good idea, yeah. Yeah, it's a good idea.
Would you do it in your show? Because it is designed really for a show. This is another one of those things that you can.
It's one of those that's designed for a show, not for like Kaushal. I might.
You might do it.
Yeah, I don't know if it suits my style, but like, would you like?
You do some mentalism. Like, you do scam quite a lot on stage.
Yeah, like with all the stuff that I do, like, do you think it would pop into anywhere that like?
I don't see a place for it. I don't see a place.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't see a place for it. And as you've been going further on, you've been moving away from patter pieces.
Yeah, I'm moving away from patter pieces. I don't do as many patter pieces. Like on New Year's Eve, when we did the show on New Year's Eve, like
everything was to music.
Everything that I did was to music. We were going to do live tags. I didn't in the end, but it was like we did Harry Potter, which was music. I did the Flying Lincoln Rings to music. I did Dancing Cane to music. I did split press, which you got to speak. You can't just do an illusion with no speaking. But like,
Although it was 90% music.
90% music. But I don't do that much pat piece anymore. If I'm doing a kid show, obviously.
Oh, you will, yeah.
Yeah, you got to do a kid show like that. In like a big show. Like, I don't do much speaking. And if there's ever any time I do speaking, you do most of it for me. Like when I'm doing cue ball, I'm about to walk out on stage and say, right, here I have a deck of cards, and you just walk out and say, right, here I have a deck.
Well, that's because it was a 2-person show, so I was like doing it with you. You know, that was my thought.
I didn't get to do any speaking in the whole show.
Yeah, sorry about
But
that.
yeah.
I'm going to give this 70%, 65%. It's okay. It's not my favourite thing that's come out. I thought it would be a bit better than it is. I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting this. 65%. What about you?
I'm going to give it 70%.
70%. There you go. 70% from Ryland. 65% from me.
That's another V-shot in the bag. That's another V-shot in the bag. That's another review show in the bag.
Ouch, thank you. It is another review show in the bag. Thank you once again for joining us right here on Magic TV. Don't forget, please stop hitting me. Seriously. Please, just this once.
I won't hit you.
Nesh today.
I won't hit you.
Thank you. Please don't.
I will next week,
Next review show. Leave it until next week. You want to see more videos like this? Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. I'm going to be back again tomorrow with another video. Ryland's going to be back next Wednesday. If you want to follow Ryland on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, it's Ryland the Kid Magician. And you want to join the Netrix, it's thenetrix.com.
Cookies.
Dude.
Cookies.
Try cookies. When that doesn't work,
Cookies.
try.com.
No, stop cookies.
I'll see you again. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Craig.
I'm Ryland.
We'll see you again. Take care. Bye, everyone.